Hey friends, I'm back for the next step of our Yayoi Kusama pumpkin project. Today I'm going to show you how to make monochrome pumpkins showing volume. All right, so just watch along with me and I'm sure I'll pause the video and show you exactly where to stop, all that good stuff. So each part of this pumpkin, each of these lines is pushing out toward me. All right, so I want to show you where I'm going to begin. What I'm going to do to start, so we've all picked one color. That's it. So all your pumpkins are going to be the same color. We're working with monochrome. I'm not sure what I'm saying this morning. It's early. So you see how I left a little bit of that white on the edge? You could do the same. So I just want you to kind of just really watch how I kind of get this. And you'll start to understand it. Okay? So the areas near the creases are going to be darker. So I just used my regular purple for this little step here. I'm going to leave my stem untouched right now. Okay, I left white where those black marks are. So without washing my brush, what I'm going to do is make a little pile of purple with a tiny bit of black mixed in. All right, so it's going to be like a dark purple. Okay, so that pile's here. I know it's hard to see. All right, so just take a peek, see? So that dark purple is going to go where all the white is. Okay? Those areas are closest to an edge that goes in. It's recessed. So it's going to be darker. So this is to portray the shadows. Okay, so I'm not just using black. I know it looks like I'm using black here, but it's not. So what I can do here now, got my first pumpkin that I've worked on. What I could do is a little blending step. Okay, a little blending goes a long way. Don't worry if that happens if you go outside of your paper. It's no big deal. So for my blending step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tap my brush. Okay, and I'm going to squeeze it dry. I'm just going to give it a little squeeze. I squeeze the tip. All right, so I'm working with it kind of wet though. All right, and what I'm going to do is just kind of give it a little feather. So I call this feathering. So just watch the direction of my brush. So I'm just kind of doing this little back and forth movement. I don't want to see these bold lines. Now you have to do this kind of quickly. If you take too long doing this, your paint's going to dry on you and it'll be harder to get the effect. Not impossible, but harder. So what I just did was kind of blended it out. So I'm just blending everything out. I'm making it softer. So you see how that just made it all softer? So for the part of the pumpkin that pushes out at you, that part, because it's closer to you, is going to be lighter. So to make that lighter color, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash my brush, okay, and I'm going to take some purple and put a little bit of white in it. It's going to make a pastel-y white. Now you each have different colors. It will work the same no matter what your color is. So I'm going to go in and make a little stripe now in between all these colors. Okay. So you guessed it. I'm going to blend it out again. I'm going to do the same thing I just did. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to give my brush a little washing. Tap, tap, tap. Whoop. Got a little spill. Let me just grab a paper towel to wipe that off. All right, so my brush is wet. All right. I mean, I dried it down a little bit. I don't like it totally wet. It's just a little bit on the damp side. Okay, now I actually just wetted my brush just to see. And I actually think it works a little better with it wet. So you can go ahead and do a wet brush too. All right. And what we want is for this to look very, very blendy. So if it's looking really blendy, then you're doing it right. Okay. We're going to leave the stems alone for now. We're going to have them be black, but I want to do that with you later. So I'm actually just wetting my brush. I'm actually just dipping my brush in water for this. It's making the blend come out a lot nicer in my opinion. So that's my first pumpkin. And you could blend to your heart's desire. Okay. You can, you know, if you feel like it needs to be a little bit more white, you can go and hit it with some more white in between for those areas that pop out toward you. So I'm going to actually go ahead and do that. You can actually add like just little streaks of highlight in there if you want. just like I did, or you can just play with your blend. So it becomes very personal. Okay, so check it out, guys. So this is my 4-gram pumpkin. Actually, I think I will do my stem right now. Why not? I'm going to do it in black. Now, if I want to make my pumpkin stem fancy, I can do that. I can change it here. I say why not? Make it what's going to make you happy. So if you want to fancify it, go for it. I know initially we didn't draw it that way, but I just want to give you guys the options. Because I just think you guys enjoy options, don't you? I have a little bit of black on my brush. I can go in and kind of gently hit some of those areas in between again. Just being playful. All right, my first pumpkin's done. So the rules change a little bit now for the background pumpkin. So actually, this is middle ground, this one's in the back. But it's still, the rules still change a little bit, okay? Since this pumpkin's in the front, the area where it's near the pumpkin that's in the middle ground is going to have a lot of shadow. Okay, so we can actually begin with that shadow. These pumpkins are going to be the same color, though. We're doing them all the same. So it'll get easier. The first time you do it's a little tricky, and then it gets easier. So I'm going to take my purple. Again, I'm going to put a little bit black with it. All right. Again, you guys have different colors. So this is not straight black. Okay, this is purple mixed with black. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the area that's closest to the edge here. Okay, you see what I just did there? That's to show our shadow. Okay, and then once I have that little section, it's going to be the same as before. So I'm going to go in and do regular purple first. I just washed my brush off. I'm not being super neat here. Don't worry about if you go outside the lines, it's okay, because for the next step, what's going to be happening is we're going to be painting the background. That's going to be a next week thing. So with that in mind, we can paint over any areas. So if you have areas that look a little shabby, you can paint over them. It's okay. All right, so I just did that again. Now I already have that dark purple mix. We know that that's going to go where the lines are. So we already know that. Okay. So I'm just going and doing that. So I know I'm going a lot quicker. Now that we're on the second pumpkin, I feel as though I can go quicker because my hand has become a little bit trained. And I get better with each pumpkin. Don't you feel that? So your last pumpkin will end up being your best. And of course, you can go back to your first pumpkin and fix it up. I want you guys to be happy with what you make. It's very important to me. Okay. I'm going to hold off on my stem for now. Do you guys remember that lighter purple that we mixed? So I can go and do the lighter purple now. I'll put a little bit here, but not very much, because that's where the shadow is. So I want to kind of keep the shadow. So same as before though, and then I'm going to go in with my wet brush and give this whole thing a blend. Okay, so I give my brush a tap, tap, tap in the water, and this is where my wet blend comes in. So I'm going in and I'm doing this wet blend technique. I just want you to see. Of course, you can fix things up. You're not stuck with anything. If something's not turning out the way you want, you have an opportunity to fix it. So that's kind of a neat thing about this. What we're really looking for is that beautiful blend. Okay. And I feel as though I need to put a little bit more black in. So I can do that. This is what I'm saying about fixing it up. So you're going to look at your own pumpkin and find the best way to fix it up. You're going to find the way that's going to look the nicest for your pumpkin. So I'm going to go in with my wet brush again and give it a blend. We don't want anything to look choppy. We want everything to look really nice and smooth and blended. So the opposite of choppy. So if you have areas that are looking a little choppy, please feel that freedom to go in and fix it, change it, blend it, make it how you want it to be. Okay, I like my second pumpkin. There's a couple areas where I feel like I can blend in a little bit more white. I tend to do it more in the center. I just think it looks really nice, don't you? Getting very playful here. So just having fun the name of the game. All right, I think I will do my stem. Gonna do it in black, just like I had showed you. Give my little top a curl. You can attach your pumpkin how you wish. I have a little extra black on my brush, so I'm just going back in to kind of bring back that shadow area that got a little bit lost, and I'm ready to move on to my next pumpkin. I'm actually going to go sit on the other side. Next week we'll be playing around with more blending. We'll be doing our backgrounds, which is all the way the stuff back here. Okay. So there's a lot more that's going to be happening with this. We'll be putting in the dots because we know that Yayoi Kusama was obsessed with dots. So I'm just talking you through it. I'm going in with some real nice dark shadow here. This is a smaller pumpkin. Hey, while I'm at it, why don't I just go and put the shadow that belongs here there. I already have the dark color on my brush. So you start moving faster as your hand gets trained, okay? And I'm gonna go in again with my regular purple. You can go so much faster as you work. Be sure of yourself. Just have fun with this. I know I got a little splatter. It's quite all right. It's okay if those things happen. So I'm just going to kind of go in. Try not to worry too much. All right, we're here to have fun. We're not here to worry. As long as you're trying your best, that's really what I'm looking for. As you know, I care about your effort more than anything. It's the most important thing to me. And it's the way to win in my class. Your effort is your heart. It's how much you care. It's how much you put into your project. So keep up your effort as you go. And just remember that. Remember, I just want to see you trying. So give yourself a chance. So I'm going to go in with my darker lines. And of course, we're going to do our blendy blend in like a minute. I just want to get all this in. So I'm almost treating this as like one pumpkin. I know I'm doing like a 2-for-1 special right now. I'm just trying to prove to you how you can work so much faster as you go. Okay, so now I'm gonna put in my lighter color in the center part. And you know that blending's coming. Blending is so much fun. We all love it. It's the best part. Do you agree? Okay, and of course I can change things and I'm not stuck with it the way it is. I just washed my brush off. I'm using a wet brush now and I'm coming back in for some blending time. Now your colors are gonna get a little muted and dirty. They're actually meant to. It's gonna make it look more natural that way. All right, looking good. I'm getting to be very happy with my picture. How do you feel about your picture? Just giving it this little blend here. This top pumpkin needs a little bit of work. Coming back into my bottom pumpkin, I'm gonna bring back some of those lines and I'm definitely gonna spend some time doing my blendy blend. All right, I'm gonna bring these back. Okay, I'm gonna wet my brush. I'm gonna fix up now all these areas. I'm gonna bring back the light if I lost it. You're bound to lose things as you go. It's okay. So, I know it belongs right there. So you can kind of just play with putting a little bit of light in the areas that you really want to shine. Now, of course, we're not done with this. Next week's gonna be all about putting in all the dots. It's going to be also about, whoop, I did the wrong color there. I meant to do black. It's okay. I can actually paint right over it. Isn't that so cool? Yeah, so next week is all about doing our background. We're going to use a complementary color for the background. So we did monochrome for the pumpkins. And then next week, complementary color for the background. So we know that the opposite of purple is going to be orange. So I'm gonna actually have an orange background. Seems a little funny to do it that way because pumpkins are orange. We're making this our way. You may not have chosen purple as your color. That's cool. hopefully you're feeling lots of freedom of choice and voice in this project, okay? So we're really just having fun with it. Finishing touches. We're just about done for the day. This is about a 1-day part right here. Here we are in our finishing touches. Make it your own. Make sure you're happy with it. That's most important to me anyway. What about you? You like to be happy with your projects, right? So here's your chance. Make it your way. All right. As I look at my project, I get happier and happier with it. The front pumpkin should be the lightest. Now, I want to fix up that part. Being a crazy perfectionist right now, you might find that you're becoming a little perfectionist as you go. That can happen. Playing, playing, playing. Okay, I'm going to end my video right there. Just kidding, I'm going to keep blending. Because as I look at this, I keep seeing little areas that I feel I want to fix now because I won't be able to fix them next week. So it's okay. That might be you too. I can make the lighter areas lighter, the darker areas darker. My class is coming in, gotta go. See you guys next time.